Everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. By now, you guys are aware of the power of proper breathing, how it can heal and prevent chronic illnesses, proper breathing being slow through your nose only. Today, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the subtle energies within our body that our breath affects. This is another really good book called The Power of Breath, another pranayama book that is in my yoga library. This is a topic that I can spend an hour on, but I'm going to spend 2 minutes on it. Pranayama is controlled breathing. It's the fourth limb of the ancient limbs, 8 limbs of yoga. Prana is a Sanskrit word that has many translations, but really only one meaning. Prana transliterates into life force, energy, breath, yet all of those are the same meaning. Life is energy and breath is life. So thereby pranayama is life. There are 5 forms of prana that control the subtle energies in our bodies. Today we're going to focus on the 5th one called Udana prana. Udana prana is your expressive breath. It cultivates your self-awareness, self-esteem, and strengthens your ability to articulate who you are, be aware of who you are, and aware and articulate who you want to be. In order to do Udana prana, you need to tune within yourself, close out external forces. Pratyahara, which is the 5th limb of the 8 limbs of yoga, it means the withdrawal of our senses. So one way to do pratyahara is an exercise called Shan Mukhi, 6 face. Shan means 6 in Sanskrit. Mukhi means face, 6 face. There are 6 gateways to the outside world: your 2 eyes, your nose, your mouth, and your 2 ears. So this particular pranayama called Shan Mukhi closes off the 6 gateways and makes you control your breath and think within your mind and your body. So there's usually an elaborate hand gesture that can be used for this exercise, but I'm going to keep it simple. So sitting up nice and tall, keeping your airways nice and long. Take your fingers and just close off your ear flaps so that you close out all noise. And then close your eyes and close your mouth. And breathe deeply through your nose with all your senses eliminated from the external world. And you'll hear your breath. And the sound of your breath may change during this exercise. But by closing the external world, you are controlling your mind and your breath and cultivating this subtle Udana prana, the expressive breath energy in your body. Something going on there, David.
It's trying to tell me I know how to make it slow. You need to record on your
Okay, forget it.
record button on your
No, don't worry about it. Okay, please remove your earplugs. Bring your breathing back to normal. Open your eyes and I shall greet you with my opening Om Balu Sat Guru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner teacher. All righty. We're going to celebrate the new moon today. The new moon was on Monday. So we're going to do later on in class today a moon salutation instead of a sun salutation. I'll explain the difference between the two. We'll start in our cross-legged position. And then bring your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push your fingers up. Exhale, bring your hands down in front of your face, back down to your center of your heart. Inhale as you push your fingertips back up. Exhale, separate your hands, open your shoulders, swing your arms back, and then bring them forward and back to the center of your chest. Inhale, fingertips go up. Exhale, open in a T. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the right so that your left hand comes onto the right thigh. Right hand props behind you on the mat. 3 big breaths here. And take 1 more deep breath in. As you exhale, come back to center. Arms back up, inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, bring your palms back down to your chest. Inhale, push your fingertips back up. Exhale, this time we're going to take our right hand down by our right hip and our left arm comes beside our ear. Stretching to the right side of the room, opening up your rib cage. And then push into your right hand, come all the way back above head. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, arms in a T. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand comes to the left thigh. Left hand props your spine up behind you as you twist. Take 1 more deep breath here. And as you exhale, come back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, bring your hands down all the way to your heart center. Inhale, push your fingertips back up. Exhale, bring your left hip by your left hip, right arm beside your ear, and reach for the left side of the room, opening your right ribs. And then push into your left hand, bring both arms back up, palms together, overhead. Inhale, push up. Exhale, float your hands down back to your heart center. And then release. And then please get off of your bolsters if you're sitting on a bolster. And then sit with your knees bent and your feet in front. And your hands will be behind you just to support your weight. Your fingers can be pointed outward if that's the good, comfortable position for you. And allow your feet to be a little wider than your hips. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, you're going to let your knees go to the right. So you're going to roll onto your left hip and your right hip, and your left knee is going to come toward your right heel. So this is a twist of your torso. Inhale back to center. Exhale, let your knees drop to the left. So now the right knee is going to come near the left foot. You're on your left hip, your right hip is up. And then come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, knees go to the right again. Now this time you're going to push your body up and bring your left hand over around beside your right hand. So both hands are on the right side of you, above your right thigh. And then you're just going to keep walking your hands to the right, twisting your body so you're facing in the opposite direction. And then once you're in this twist, if you want to bring your head down to the mat or to your hands to come into the full deer pose. This is called a deer pose. And this is what it looks like if I were facing you. Slowly push up. Walk your hands back around to the left. And bring your knees back to center. Inhale here. Exhale. Now we're going to let our knees fall to the left again. And this time we're going to take the right hand, bring it on the left side of you, and walk your hands to the left so that you're facing the opposite direction. Keep on twisting your body. And then let your chest melt down toward the mat. And if it feels good to you, let your head rest on your hands or on your mat. Push into your hands as you push your body back up. And now please come lying onto your backs with your knees bent, arms by your side to start with. So we're going to do a shoulder opening here. So let your arms float out to a T, palms facing up. Now, allow your knees, your feet are about hip-width distance apart. Allow your knees to fall to the right. And so that means your left hip is going to come off the mat and you're rolling onto your right hip. Your shoulders stay flat. If you're able to keep your shoulders flat on the mat and your hands touching the floor, keep it that way. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, you're going to lift your left hand and bring it up toward the ceiling over your face and roll onto your right shoulder so that your hands touch each other, palm to palm on the right side of your body. Inhale as you drag your left arm now. Drag it along the floor or the mat above your head. And as you get there, you're going to slowly untwist your body, flip your palm up, and then keep on dragging. Now the back of your left hand is going to keep on rotating down back to the T position where it started. And your shoulders are still flat on the mat. Okay, so this is a clam type of a shoulder roll. Inhale once more here. Exhale, bring your left hand once more over to meet your right hand, rolling onto your right shoulder. And then inhale as you drag your fingertips above your head. Flip your palm up as you unwind your body. Keep dragging the back of your hand along the left side of your body till you rest them in a T once again. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, bring the left hand over to meet the right hand. Inhale as you slowly drag your arm up above your head. Flip the palm facing up. When you get above your head, open your chest, bring your arms back to a T. And now bring your knees back to center. Recenter your body, push into your feet, and just scoot your bottom over just an inch or so to the right. And now allow your knees to drop to the left. Your arms are in a T, palms facing up. Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, your right hand now will come up toward the ceiling. You're going to roll onto your left shoulder, and your right palm is going to meet your left palm, like a clapping seal. Now, inhale as you drag your right hand up over on top of your head. Flip the palm up, and then keep dragging your hand until it comes back to a T on the right side of your body where you started. Inhale. Exhale, flip the clam mouth closed. Bring the arm back over your body to touch your left palm. And then inhale as you drag your right fingertips over your head. Flip the palm up as you come back into a T. And once more, inhale. And then exhale, bring the hand over, touching your left. Drag the right hand up above your head as you open your body and open your chest. Bring your arms back into a T, and then bring your knees back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Keep your head and neck relaxed for a moment. Just hug both knees into your chest. Okay, now straighten your legs, put your feet back down on the mat, straighten your legs long, and then lace your fingers, pick up your head and rest your head in your laced fingers. Now bend your knees towards your chest. Now this is important, and we're going to do some abdominal work here, so you're going to want to protect your back by pushing your lower back into the mat. So right now, before we do anything else, just tilt your pelvis so that you can feel your lower back push into the mat. And as you do that, roll your head and shoulders up, tucking your chin, and extend your legs long so that you're looking at your toes. Keep pushing your back into the mat. Now make sure you're not pulling your head up with your fingers here. Your head is just resting in your hands, no tension. And then bend your knees back to your chest and slowly roll back down. Take a break here, and then we will repeat that now that you know where we're going. So once again, you're not pulling your head up. The only reason you have your fingers behind your head is so that you're resting your head and you're not craning your neck to do this. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, push your back into the mat, curl your chest up, straighten your legs. Keep pushing the back into the mat. Maybe you can look at your toes. Remember not to crane your neck. Your head is resting in your hands. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bend your knees back and slowly roll your spine back down. And then take a break here with your knees bent. And we'll go one more time. Inhale. Exhale, push the back into the mat, tuck your chin, straighten your legs, lift your head and your shoulders. Really push the back into the mat to engage your abdominal muscles. Breathe, breathe, and breathe again. And then bend your knees, roll your back all the way down, rest your head on the mat. Release your fingers and now hug your knees back into your chest again and roll onto your spine. Roll around in one direction and then the other direction. And then please roll onto one side so that you can come to your table position. Patting knees here accordingly. And then we'll do the greasing of the hinges, what I call greasing of the hinges. I don't think anybody else calls it that, but that's exactly what it is. You take a deep breath, exhale, and you're going to bring your bottom towards your heels. So now you're lubricating your joints, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your wrists. And then inhale as you pack back up to table. Exhale once again as you bring your bottom down to your heels, greasing your joints. Inhale back to table. And exhale one more time towards your heels slowly. And then come to table. Square up your table with a flat back inhale. Exhale, push into your cat back. So you're tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone. Push the mat away. Open your shoulder blades on your back and feel every vertebra open. And then slowly inhale as you drop your belly down into a banana back, extending your spine long, crown of your head forward, tailbone back. And then one more very slow exhale, curling up into your scared cat, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone, flexing the spine. And then one more inhale as you drop your belly down into your cow, Vittalasana. Cow pose, and then come back to neutral table, and then please come onto your bellies and prop onto your forearms. So when you're on your forearms, you want your elbows lined up underneath your shoulders. You want your forearms shoulder width apart so that the elbows are right beside your chest. Take the tops of your feet, if you can, and push them into the mat behind you. Keep your legs parallel to each other. Push your thighs into the mat and rotate them in toward each other slightly, as if you were squeezing a ball between your thighs. And Feel how that might open up your lower back a little bit here. And this is a very mild back bend. Pull the forearms towards you on your sticky mat so that you're bringing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then think about being a turtle, lengthening your neck and the crown of your head upward in this Sphinx pose. Nice back stretch here. Remember to keep squeezing the imaginary ball between your thighs so you're not squeezing your butt cheeks together. You're rotating your the outside edges of your thighs are going down towards your mat. So you're engaging your outer buttocks instead of your middle. All right, and from here, now tuck your toes if they're untucked, tuck them. Take a deep breath, and we're going to come into a forearm plank. So this is another core exercise here. So push into your forearms and lift your body up off the mat into a forearm plank. Now try to keep your neck relaxed here and breathe. Engage your abdominal muscles, breathe. And then slowly bring your pelvis back down. And then if you want to untuck your toes here once again, back to the Sphinx. So the Sphinx is the resting phase of this. Inhale, exhale, curl your toes, push up in the forearm plank. Breathe here through your nose deeply, and then bring your pelvis back down, back into Sphinx. And when you reestablish your spine in Sphinx, remember you want to elongate your spine by pushing the crown of your head forward and up. Your tailbone is down and back. You're squeezing an imaginary ball between your thighs to open your lower back. As you tuck your toes, take a deep breath. One more time, forearm plank. And come on back down to Sphinx. Good. And then take your hands beside your chest, push back up to table. And here I'll give you the option of we're going to stand up, either do so without assistance or go through downward facing dog if you like your downward facing dog. So from table position, you're going to lift your hips up into the air with bent knees. If you're coming into downward dog, keep your knees bent and your spine long, fingers spread wide, forearms are squeezing toward each other. And your hips are high up in the air. Your head is melting between your arms. And then bend your knees a lot so that you can walk up to your hands to come to a standing position very slowly. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Okay, please grab your blocks and have them handy in the front part of your mat. All right, now we're going to take the weight into our left foot, take our right foot and put it on the left side. So you're crossing your legs, right leg is over your left. Okay, so this takes some balance and core work as well. We're going to fold forward from our hip crease here and bring our hands down either to your blocks or to the mat in front of you. So your knees are going to be slightly bent as you fold down. And it gives a different stretch to your hamstrings of having the legs crossed. And then very slowly rise back up with keeping your legs crossed. It's not as easy as it sounds. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, arms in a T, back to the center of your chest. And then very carefully unwind your legs. And now step your left foot onto the right side of the right foot, crossing left leg on top of right. Your knees are slightly bent. And then again, you're going to come from your hip crease, forward fold all the way down. You want a nice long back. Hands come to your blocks or to the mat, and your blocks can be whatever height suits you. You want a nice long spine. And then very slowly rise back up, keeping your balance. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And then uncross. Good. So we're going to do a one-legged balance now. So if you want to get by a wall or anything for assistance, there's no cheating in yoga. There's no such thing as cheating in yoga. So use whatever props you need to make it work for you. All right, so we're going to start shifting the weight to the left leg, and we're going to lift the right leg. And we're just going to bring it in front of us and just hug the knee in toward your chest, as close as you can get it to your chest. Keeping your head above your shoulders, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Now, very slowly, see if you can take your fingers underneath of your thigh and straighten your leg in front of you. And if you want to let go of your leg, go ahead and try to do that here. And then rebend the knee, bring the foot down, shake it all out. So we can go to the other side. Okay, take your time, focus on something, shift the weight to the right. Left leg is bent towards your chest first. Grab your knee, hug it into the chest. And then very slowly, hands go underneath your thigh as you extend your leg long in front of you. If you want to let go, let go. This is very good abdominal work here. And then rebend the knee, bring the arms down. So that is really good for you, not only your abdominal muscles, but your leg muscles. Get a good workout with that particular balancing pose, as all balancing poses as well. All right, back to Tadasana. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, comes to a chair pose. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, you're going to swing your arms beside your body and go behind you, fingers pointing up to the ceiling with your knees still bent. Take a deep breath now. Exhale, bring your arms back in front of you. Back to chair. Very slowly rise all the way up. And then back down into chair. Inhale. Exhale, swing your arms behind you. Keep your knees bent. Bring your chest down to your thighs. Inhale. Exhale, swing your arms back in front. Back through chair. Pause here. And then inhale all the way back up. One more time. Exhale into chair. Inhale here. Exhale, swing your arms behind you. Fingers pointing up. And then slowly bring your arms back in front of you into chair. And then rise all the way up. Inhale, exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And then come to Tadasana. So that was a bit of a heating exercise. So a sunset, that wasn't a sun salutation, but it was a part of a sun salutation. And sun salutations are fiery and heating, and they're done fast, and they're meant to warm up your body. It's the masculine energy in your body is the sun. The moon is the feminine energy in your body, and that's the cool side of your body. So a moon salutation is done more slowly and gracefully, so that it's a cooling, and you're moving a lot, but it's a cooling movement. So have your blocks ready in front of you again, if they're not there already. We're going to do this version of a moon salutation. Is going to be a lot done on our knees instead of standing. So we'll start in Tadasana. Bring your hands in front of your chest in Tadasana. Make sure your head's propped right on top of your shoulders. Shoulders down from your ears, and that your feet are planted into the earth. Inhale as you push your fingertips up over your head. So this is a new moon, which was Monday. Inhale here. Exhale so that we have a crescenting moon, waxing crescent moon. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Step your right foot back about 2 or 3 feet. Make sure that your hips are facing forward and your feet are like you were walking on railroad tracks, about hip width distance apart. We're going to come into our quarter moon, our waxing quarter moon. Coming from the hip crease, you're going to bring your chest forward, keep your legs straight, and then take your hands and place them on your blocks, any height that's comfortable for you, or on the mat. You want to make sure that your hips stay square. So the tendency here is to avoid the stretch, you're going to think about your right hip is going to want to cock upward. So really think about bringing your right hip down and forward and your left hip back and your left femur back into the hip socket here so that your sacrum is completely level. And allow your chest to melt down to your thigh. And the quarter moon is represented by the pie slice between your legs, the pyramid part of this pose, the quarter moon. Now, bend your left knee and scoot your right toes back so that you're coming into a high lunge. A block or your hand is on either side of your front foot. Your right leg is extended behind you. And then bring your right knee down to the mat. Okay, from here, we're going to move the block to the inside of the leg, scoot the leg out to the side, and then come on down to our blocks into our lizard pose. So this is a big hip opener, so your arms are either on your blocks or on the mat, depending on what works for you. Your foot is forward of your head, and you have an open angle in your leg. Your knee is close to your shoulder here. Okay, back up to your hands if you're down on your forearms. Scooch this left foot out to the side. So you're going to swing it out so that it comes in line with your right knee. And then you're going to take one of your blocks in your right hand and place it right beside your right knee on the outside of your right hip. Okay, and then we're going to come on up to our starting gate pose. So your toes here are starting to pointing forward, but I want you to pick them up and, oh no, keep them forward for right now. I'm going to pick them up later. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, take your right hand down onto the right block, left arm beside your ear. Okay, so now we're going to come into our half moon. So in doing that, we're going to have to get our balance because we're going to lift our leg. So bring your left arm back up, scoot the block out so that you have leverage enough to lift your leg. So this is a kneeling half moon pose. It's literally called half moon. Ardha Chandrasana is translated into half moon. We can do this standing as well. So now bring your foot back down. Pull up with your left hand so that you can come back to your starting gate. Now point your toes out to the left side. And now we're coming into our waxing gibbous. Take your left hand onto your left leg, and then you're going to slide that hand down your leg, bringing your right arm beside your ear, and the fingertips are pointing, reaching toward the left. So this leg is straight-ish, but don't allow your knee to lock. And then pull up, back to your starting gate, and bring your hands down in front of you. So now we're going to walk your left foot up, grab your blocks, come into a low lunge. So one block or your hands are on either side of your left foot on the mat. Scoot your right knee back so that you have a stretch in the quadriceps here, and square up your hips, bring your chest up and forward, and then we're going to come into our full moon. So get light in your fingertips and then reach your arms forward, all the way up, palms facing each other, and lean backwards, look between your palms. This is the full moon. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back down. And then bring your foot back to table pose. And we're going to enter now the waning side of the moon. So now we're going to step our right foot up. And come back into your full moon on this side. We're on Anjaneyasana. And then bring your hands back down. Move the blocks into the inside of your right leg. Scoot your right foot out so that we can come into lizard pose on this side. So your forearms are going to rest on the blocks of the mat. Your wide angle in your right leg. Your foot is forward of your head. Okay, please push back into your hands. Walk your right foot out so that it's extended to the side, perpendicular to your body, and take a block and place it beside your left hip, and then come on up into starting gate on this side. So we're going to now go into our waning gibbous. Pick up your right toes, point them to the right so that they're pointing away from your body. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, your right hand slides down the leg, the left arm beside the ear. So the waning gibbous represents like a 3/4 of a moon here. The leg is straight but not locked. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, you're going to bring this hand down to the block. Move the block out and bring your arm to 12 o'clock. Your right arm, and then bring the right arm beside the ear for a nice stretch in the side. And now as you move into half moon, bring your right arm back to 12 o'clock just for balance, and then move the block out so that you can lift your leg into our Ardha Chandrasana half moon pose. And then the leg comes back down, push back up to starting gate, and then bring your hands down to the mat. Now we're going to walk this foot up, bend the knee so that we're in a low lunge. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee off the mat so you're in a high lunge. And then shift the weight into your right foot, step the left foot up. And then slowly rise up. Inhale up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And then Tadasana. We're not done yet. So we still have another 1/4 of a moon and a crescent to go. So now we're going to step our left foot back about 2 or 3 feet. Square your hips forward. Your blocks are still handy in front of you, or at least one block is handy in front of you. Feet are like on railroad tracks. So from here, come from your hip crease, bend forward, and then place your hands either on the mat or a block or 2 blocks in front of you, and then level your hips. So that means you want your now left hip is going to be tending to scoot back. So you want to really think about bringing your left hip forward and your right hip back. Let your chest melt down towards your thigh in this 1/4 moon phase. This is a pyramid pose. And the way I remember this whole routine is the phases of the moon. So this phase here is the pie shape between your legs, represents a 1/4 of a moon. From here, shift your weight, step up with your left foot. Slowly roll up. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your palms together for our waning crescent. Inhale, point up. Exhale, crescent left. Inhale back up. Exhale, arms in a T. Back to our new moon, Anjali Mudra, the new moon. Back to where we started. And then back to Tadasana. Take a couple of breaths here, realign your spine. Think about making sure your head's over the shoulders. Belly in, thighs rolled inward. Your leg muscles are engaged. Chest is open. Pull your shoulders down from your ears. Tailbone pointing down. Okay, so now we will descend to the mat. You can either come down any way that you like, or if you want to practice your downward facing dog, we'll go through dog to come down. Inhale up, bend your knees. Exhale, forward fold all the way down to your hands to the mat or blocks. You can do downward dog with your hands on blocks. And then step both feet back into your downward facing dog. And sometimes using blocks will elevate your front end and put more weight in your back end. So if you have trouble with getting weight into the back end of your body, just put your hands on blocks and that'll help you take pressure off of your hands and wrists. But otherwise, you're going to do the exact same thing. Squeeze your forearms toward each other, roll your shoulders outward, bend your knees, hips high up in the air. Chest is melting down toward your thighs and your head is melting between your arms. And now bring your knees down to the mat and bring your hips back toward your heels into a child pose. A resting child pose. Try to bring your head down onto either a block, a blanket, or you can fold your hands, put your head on your hands, or you can put your head on the mat. And then bring your arms beside your body, palms facing up, unless you're using your hands to prop up your head. And take a couple of resting breaths here. And then very slowly come back up. And then please come back onto your backs. Grab your block. Bend your knees and we'll do a few moments of sacrum on the block. So you're going to lift your hips, put your sacrum down on the block and allow your legs to float up into waterfall pose, like you're floating in water. And then slowly lower your legs down, please. Lift your hip, remove the block, come back down with your bottom, keep your knees bent. Now take your right ankle, bend the right knee, take your right ankle, place it on top of your left thigh. So your foot is flexed, and take your right hand and push your right thigh away from you to open that hip. Now take your right hand, thread it between your legs, take your left hand on the outside of your left thigh, lift your foot up so that you can grab behind your thigh with your hands. And then now your right elbow is going to push the thigh away as your hands are bringing your left thigh towards your chest into this pigeon, reclined pigeon pose. Keep your feet flexed. Now straighten your left leg. Bring the sole of your foot so that it's pointing to the ceiling. You get a little bit of a different stretch here. This represents a number four pose. Re-bend your left knee. Unclasp your left thigh, and then take your right hand on top of your right thigh and just push it over like a typewriter return so that you're knee over knee now. So if you're my age or older, you'll remember what a typewriter is, otherwise you probably don't. So now you're stacked knee over knee with your legs crossed as if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. So bring your knees up towards your chest, and this is not as complicated as it sounds, but you have to think about this. Your left hand now is going to grab your right ankle, which is on the left side of your body. And then your right hand is going to grab your left ankle, which is on the left side of your body. So you just cross your legs and grab the closest ankle to each hand. And I say it's kind of a little complicated because when I've done this in live classes, I've gotten all kinds of spidery movements, octopus movements with hands and feet. Okay, release your ankles. Bring your feet back down to the mat. Keep your legs crossed. Bring your arms to a T. All right, so here's an option for you. Just keep your legs as they are, or if you want to wrap your right foot around the ankle of your left foot into eagle legs, go ahead and do that. And then we'll, either way, with your legs crossed or legs in eagle position, we're going to roll onto our left hip. Keep your arms in a T, shoulders down. And now turn your head maybe and look to the right. It'll enhance the neck stretch a little bit. And then please bring your knees back to center. Unwind or uncross. Bring your feet back flat onto the mat. And take your left ankle onto your right thigh. And then take your left hand onto your left thigh and push it away to loosen that hip joint. Keep the foot flexed. Now take your left hand, thread it through your legs. Right hand grabs behind the right thigh. Lace your fingers behind the thigh. Bring it toward your chest. So now left elbow is pushing left thigh away as you're bringing your right leg in toward your chest. Both feet are flexed and knees bent. Extend your leg, sole of your foot pointing to the ceiling, your right foot. So this is the number 4. Re-bend the knee. Let go of your thigh and then take your left hand and take the typewriter, return and move your left knee so that it's stacked over your right knee. Bring the knees back up towards your chest and then we'll grab, one hand is going to grab one ankle, the closest one to your hands, and pull the ankles toward your body. Okay, let go. Keep your knees crossed. Bring your feet back to the mat. Keep your knee over knee and either stay that way or hook your left foot underneath your right ankle in eagle legs on this side. And then we'll roll onto our right hip. Arms are in a T, palms facing up. And then turn your head, look over your left hand. And bring knees back to center, head back to center. Unwind your legs or uncross your legs. Bring both knees into your chest, hug your knees in. Okay, now keeping your knees up toward your chest, move your knees out to the sides so that the soles of your feet come together. And then see if you can weave your hands between your legs and grab either your ankles or the outside edges of your feet, soles of the feet together. And then whatever you have grabbed, ankles or the feet, you're just going to coax your feet apart from each other. The soles of your feet are going to be pushing up, looking up toward the ceiling, but you're going to be pulling your knees down toward your armpits as you further open your legs. This is happy baby pose. And then very slowly bring your feet back together. Bring the soles of your feet together. And then just bring your feet back down to the mat, keeping the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. Rest your feet on the mat and allow your knees to open to the side in this Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. So you're letting gravity open your groin area here for a few breaths. And now bring your knees together and lengthen your legs long on the mat and get comfortable for Shavasana. Close your eyes. Whatever it takes to make your body comfortable for this final relaxation. And then please focus on your breath. Focus on slowing down your breathing. Bring awareness to your legs. Release all the muscles in your feet, calves, thighs, hips, buttocks. Bring awareness to your arms. Release all the muscles in your fingers, your wrist, forearms, upper arms. Allow your shoulders to fall down away from your ears. Soften your belly, soften your chest. Allow all your back muscles to melt onto the mat. Release the tension in your neck and your jaw. Unclench your teeth, unstick your lips, unstick your tongue, relax your cheeks. Relax your nose and eyes, your forehead. And now relax your mind and enjoy the next few moments of inner bliss. Please bring your awareness back to your breath and deepen your breathing as you gently wake up your body, making small movements with hands and feet. And please bend your knees and roll to your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And please, very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push up to seated. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Namaste.